Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chung. Let's get into the never ever mets. Let's go. Okay, honey, so we start off with where we left off. Brittany and Ty are still into it, and Ty feels disrespected because Brittany is in his face with her fingers. I want to say she called him something, and then he walks off. So then she is in the kitchen with everybody else, and she's saying that what she said at the dinner table about their, little situation, she was trying to protect him. But Ty came out and said that they were not actually compatible. And Brittany got pissed and left. Now she mad because he told the truth and she lied. Child, Jay cannot with Brittany, okay? Now, her and Alexis are saying that she does a lot of stuff. I'm sorry, Ty does a lot of stuff for her. Jay was like, he brings you food, he brings you drinks, he brings you breakfast and things like that, and you don't do anything for him. And Alexis is like, he don't even want food. He wants some hugs and some kisses. And then Jay was like, he wants you to tickle him like you tickle everybody else. And she was like, what? She was like, yeah, the way you do everybody else, he sees it. And then Brittany's like, y'all are so immature. Child, they show a flashback of her tickling Cinco, talking to the other men, hugging on Chris. Ty is standing at the end of the table, and she is giggling and sniggling with everybody but him. Child, Jay called her a promiscuous guarding tool. She was like, y'all doing too much. So then Brittany's like, do you know what promiscuous means? Jay said, what you do in the house. She was like, you came here to meet Ty, and you around here trying to meet everybody else in the house. Like, Brittany is over it. She is not feeling Ty. She doesn't give him any emotion at all. She barely gave him a kiss last week. Child, so Brittany said something like, I can't deal with this or something. And Jay told her to leave. So now Ty is back downstairs, honey. And I think Alexis said, you need to apologize. He said, no. He said, every time, even when I'm not in the wrong, I'm apologizing. I'm not doing it this time. Everybody was like, okay, Ty. So Ty said that Brittany is used to getting her way. He's not used to such a dominant woman, right? And she's not giving him what he needs to be heard. So, like, this situation is over in my mind. Let's keep going. So Jay and Cinco have decided that they're going to leave here together, right? And they are my couple to leave together. But now they're talking about where they're going to go when they leave together. He lives in Atlanta. She lives in Chicago. He wants her to relocate. He said that her son is 4 and it will be good for him. She doesn't think so because he'll be leaving his friends and everything he knows, and he can't adapt to change. But she doesn't know that because it hasn't happened. But I see his side and I see her side because she's like, she has a support system in Chicago. And that's really big for a single mother. So he's saying that he would really like for her to give her son this chance and give them this chance and show him something new. So we'll see how that will work. So Brittany calls Ty outside so they can have a conversation. She tells him that she doesn't think that this can work. He was like, they don't have any connection. They argue all the time. So they decide to leave. And it's the best thing because these two right here are not doing it. So Taronda comes in and talks about the obvious. Ty and Brittany have left. They have 2 more days in the house. She tells them to make the best of it. Jay and Cinco are very vocal that now Ty and Brittany have left and they love it, just the 4 couples. They say it's more room and everything. So this is what we have left. Who do you think is going to leave next? And who do you think is going to stand the test of time? So Jay and Cinco go on a date. Cinco has made this date for them because she made the first date. It was a basketball date. And this is where they're going to make their own perfumes and their own smells. And she loves that, right? She said this is a time where they can actually connect and talk and not so much physical. Because, they had bang bang on the first night. So he reiterates about moving to Atlanta. And he lets her know you don't have to move right now. Right? And if it's not going to work for you because we are leaving together, then we'll work it out. I think they have the best chance of making it. So Brandon and Kiki are here together. Their people are coming. So Maya, her friend, is coming for her, and his brother Christian is coming for him. She said that Maya is very skeptical of Brandon, and also she realizes now that Kiki has not told Brandon about her ex-boyfriend. Brandon is so glad that his brother Christian is here, and they've been brothers since he was 5. Brandon's stepdad is his dad, right? But he came in barrels blazing. He walked right past Alexis, and he was like, "Where's my brother?" Alexis found him to be a little rude, and he was, because she asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "Where does it look like I'm from?" And we found out he's from Alabama. So she's telling Maya how Brandon feels like she's a heavy drinker. And she was telling her he poured her a drink and it wasn't a lot in the drink. And that's basically all that she has. But her friend is like, "You brought me here so you can have me here when you tell him that you were still with your ex-boyfriend when you start dating him?" She was like, "What have I gotten myself into?" But she was like, Kiki feels a little bit more comfortable talking to Brandon with Maya here. Then we found out from Christian that Brandon has been dealing with, raising on his own, doing stuff since he was 15, right? And Brandon also let Christian know that Kiki is a heavy drinker, and he's seen that in his life, and he doesn't like that about her. And his brother's like, "You don't deserve that." Child, so Kiki says this is a better time than any to let you know that I was still with my ex when I started talking to you. Brandon said that is a deal breaker. Then Christian was like, "Let me ask you something. How long were you with that ex?" She said 8 years. And then she got defensive. She was like, "So you expect me to think that for 4 years you weren't messing around or sleeping with anyone or doing anything?" He said he wasn't, because he considered this a relationship, right? He had gone to Atlanta 4 times to see Kiki, and she flaked on him all 4 times. And I think she said 2 or 3 of the times was because she was with her ex. Brandon doesn't deserve that. So Kiki is like, "I can't believe that," right? He said, "The reason you don't believe it is because you were still messing around with your ex." He said, "That's not me. That's not on me." And then she was like, "There were periods of time when we weren't talking." So she said earlier that it would be easier if she found out that Brandon was messing around too. But Brandon wasn't. He was serious about Kiki. That's not cool. So now that Brandon said that this is a deal breaker, Kiki is like, "I hate I said anything. I should have just kept this secret to myself," right? She was like, "But I think we can move past it." Brandon is, as you can see him in his body language, he's not feeling it right now. She said she was glad to meet Christian, and her friend Maya said, "Y'all been talking for 4 years, like long distance. Now that we're here, is this something that we can get over?" She said they can work through it. I don't know that much about Brandon. I don't know how he really feels. So now Brandon is here talking to Alexis, and Alexis is like, "Out of the 4 years that you were talking to Kiki, you never slept with anyone? Why? Why?" And he was like, "I slept with someone before Kiki." So Alexis is thinking this wasn't a serious relationship, but Brandon said it was a very serious relationship. And Messy Boots over here was eating his sandwich and raised up when he realized that Kiki had cheated on Brandon, because he is all about the mess. So the next day, Cinco had to kind of break it down to Kiki. It was like, he was talking to you for 4 years, and he thought you was a single woman and you was doing your thing. He didn't think that you weren't trying to see him or talk to him because you was with another man. You got to understand that he could be hurt by that. Justifying it by saying because they weren't in each other's face, like it really wasn't a thing until they got here, right? And she said she never really could find a perfect time. And then he tells her, "You wrote down on the paper that it's not cool to keep a secret from your, the person you're in a relationship with." She was like, "That wasn't a secret." He said, "It was a secret. If you didn't tell me and I didn't know, that was a secret." Like, now she talking about she done lost her appetite. Okay. She said Brandon had 83 deal breakers, right? And she was like, he doesn't let her talk. He talks kind of crazy to her. And all Brandon wants to do is have a full relationship with someone he can trust. And she said that I'm no longer talking to my ex, so what is the big deal? The big deal is you lied to this man, okay? You were with someone when he thought he was just with you. And you ghosted him 4 times. Child, Brandon went to finish his breakfast outside because he was done talking to Kiki. And next week is the finale. And we're going to see who's going home with each other. It's your girl, Millie Chan. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.